Top 50 News of India, 17th May 2026. 1. PM Modi concludes key diplomatic meetings abroad. Prime Minister Narendra Modi completed major discussions during his five-nation tour. India signed agreements related to trade, clean energy, and technology cooperation. Foreign leaders praised India's growing role in global affairs. Strategic partnerships in defense and infrastructure were also discussed. The visit strengthened India's international diplomatic presence. 2. Heatwave conditions continue across India. Several northern and central Indian states continued facing extreme heat conditions. Temperatures crossed 46 degrees Celsius in parts of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Health departments issued advisories regarding heat stroke prevention. Electricity demand reached record highs in multiple cities. Meteorologists predicted relief only after pre-monsoon activity increases. 3. Fuel price hike impacts transportation sector. Transport operators reported increased operational costs after fuel price hikes. Bus and taxi fares may rise in several states soon. Logistics companies warned of possible increases in delivery charges. Consumers expressed concern over rising daily expenses. Economists continued monitoring inflationary pressure on the economy. 4. Sensex and Nifty end week with mixed performance. Indian stock markets showed volatility during the final trading session of the week. Energy and banking sectors witnessed significant movement. Global oil prices influenced investor confidence strongly. Foreign institutional investors remained cautious in the market. Analysts advised disciplined investment strategies for long-term gains. 5. Rupee weakens amid global economic uncertainty. The Indian rupee continued facing pressure against the US dollar. Rising crude oil import bills contributed to currency weakness. The RBI closely monitored currency fluctuations and reserve positions. Import-heavy industries experienced additional financial challenges. Economists predicted continued short-term market volatility. 6. India and UAE expand strategic cooperation. India and the UAE announced stronger collaboration in energy and infrastructure sectors. Discussions also included digital payments and AI technology partnerships. Officials highlighted growing bilateral trade opportunities. The countries agreed to increase investment cooperation further. Experts described the partnership as strategically significant. 7. Cabinet reshuffle speculations grow stronger. Political discussions about a possible union cabinet reshuffle intensified in Delhi. Performance reviews of key ministries were reportedly underway. Several new leaders may receive important responsibilities. The BJP leadership held internal meetings during the weekend. Political analysts predicted changes before upcoming state elections. 8. West Bengal government begins administrative review. The new administration in West Bengal reviewed several policy decisions. Officials discussed governance reforms and development priorities. Political debates continued across the state after election results. Opposition parties demanded transparency in administrative appointments. The state remained politically active and closely watched nationally. 9. Tamil Nadu's political landscape changes rapidly. Coalition negotiations continued after recent election developments. Actor Vijay's political influence remained a major public discussion topic. Analysts described the political shift as historic for the state. Parties worked on finalizing cabinet and alliance strategies. Public interest in state politics increased significantly. 10. Kerala parties review election performances. Major political parties in Kerala began analyzing recent election results. Leaders held meetings to discuss future organizational strategies. Development and employment issues dominated public conversations. Analysts predicted stronger competition among national parties. The state continued witnessing intense political activity. 11. RCB strengthens position in IPL 2026. Royal challengers Bengaluru secured another important victory. Virat Kohli's consistent batting remained a key highlight. The team moved closer to securing a playoff berth. Fans praised the balanced performance of batting and bowling units. RCB supporters celebrated across social media platforms. 12. Mumbai Indians face criticism after IPL exit. Cricket experts criticized Mumbai Indians for inconsistent performances this season. Former players discussed team selection and strategy issues publicly. Fans expressed disappointment after missing playoff qualification. Management may review squad structure before next season. The franchise promised a stronger comeback in 2027. 13. CSK continues fight for IPL qualification. Chennai Super Kings remained alive in the playoff race after another win. Young players delivered impactful performances under pressure. MS Dhoni's leadership once again received widespread praise. Fans remained hopeful about the team's qualification chances. The IPL playoff battle became increasingly competitive. 14. India A players begin intensive training camp. The India A cricket squad started intensive preparations for upcoming matches. Coaches focused on improving batting depth and bowling consistency. Young players received guidance from senior support staff. Selectors continued monitoring future international prospects closely. Fans welcomed the development of emerging cricket talent. 15. Indian shuttlers perform well internationally. Indian badminton players delivered strong performances in overseas tournaments. PV Sindhu and Lakshya Sen advanced in their respective competitions. Fans praised the consistency of Indian athletes globally. Coaches highlighted improvements in fitness and game strategy. India's badminton reputation continued strengthening internationally. 16. Electricity demand reaches summer record. Power consumption crossed new records due to extreme temperatures nationwide. Several states increased emergency power supply measures. Authorities assured sufficient coal stock availability for thermal plants. Some cities experienced temporary outages during peak hours. Officials monitored the grid situation closely throughout the day. 17. Delhi air pollution levels rise again. Delhi's AQI remained in the poor category during the weekend. Dust storms and heat conditions worsened environmental quality. Health experts advised citizens to limit outdoor activities. Authorities discussed emergency pollution control measures. Environmental groups demanded stronger long-term planning. 18. Indian Railways adds more summer trains. Railways announced additional summer special trains on high-demand routes. Passenger traffic increased sharply during vacation travel season. Railway stations implemented extra crowd control arrangements. Online ticket bookings remained extremely high nationwide. Passengers welcomed improved travel convenience during holidays. 19. Digital education platforms gain more users. Online learning applications reported increased student registrations. AI-based preparation tools became popular among competitive exam aspirants. Rural students received greater access to digital resources. Educational institutions expanded virtual classroom initiatives. Experts praised the affordability of digital learning systems. 20. India's startup sector attracts fresh investment. Indian startups received strong funding support from domestic and foreign investors. AI, fintech, and health tech sectors led investment activity. Entrepreneurs announced expansion plans into smaller cities. Government innovation programs continued supporting startups. Experts predicted sustained growth in India's digital economy. 21. Cybercrime cases continue rising. Authorities reported a surge in online financial fraud complaints. Cybercrime departments launched awareness campaigns nationwide. Banks advised customers to avoid suspicious calls and messages. Police arrested multiple fraud networks in coordinated operations. Experts emphasized digital safety education for users. 22. Indian Army expands drone surveillance systems. Advanced drone surveillance technologies were deployed along sensitive borders. The Indian Army increased AI integration in security operations. Defense officials highlighted rapid modernization efforts. New systems improved monitoring efficiency significantly. Experts called the upgrades strategically important for national security. 23. ISRO advances preparations for upcoming mission. ISRO scientists conducted final testing for an upcoming satellite launch. The mission aims to improve weather forecasting and communication systems. Young engineers played major roles in mission development. India's private space sector also showed rapid growth. Experts praised ISRO's continued technological progress. 24. 5G services expand into more regions. Telecom companies introduced 5G connectivity in additional cities and towns. Internet speeds improved significantly in newly connected areas. Digital businesses and streaming services benefited from better networks. Providers also discussed rural connectivity expansion plans. Competition among telecom firms remained intense nationwide. 25 UPI transactions reach historic high. India's digital payments ecosystem achieved another major milestone. UPI transaction volumes continued breaking previous records. Small businesses increasingly preferred cashless payment systems. Rural digital adoption expanded steadily across states. Experts described India as a global digital payments leader. 26 women safety programs expanded by states. Several state governments upgraded women's safety infrastructure and apps. Police response systems were modernized further. Awareness drives were organized in schools and universities. Authorities promised quicker complaint resolution mechanisms. Women's security remained a major governance priority. 27 water conservation drives intensify before monsoon. Governments promoted rainwater harvesting and responsible water use campaigns. Urban areas facing shortages implemented stricter monitoring measures. Environmental experts warned about future climate-related water stress. Schools and institutions joined awareness initiatives. Authorities emphasized sustainable resource management practices. 28 monsoon preparedness activities accelerate. Flood-prone states increased disaster management preparations. NDRF teams were placed on standby in vulnerable districts. River monitoring systems and drainage networks were upgraded. Officials reviewed emergency evacuation plans carefully. Authorities aimed to minimize flood-related disruptions this year. 29 healthcare recruitment programs expand. Government hospitals announced additional recruitment for doctors and nurses. Special attention was given to strengthening rural healthcare systems. Medical colleges planned expansion of training infrastructure. Experts welcomed higher investment in public healthcare. Authorities aimed to improve medical accessibility nationwide. 30 metro rail expansion continues in Indian cities. Metro construction projects progressed in Delhi, Indore, Pune, and Bhopal. Urban authorities highlighted environmental and traffic benefits. New routes and corridors received administrative approvals. Commuters welcomed plans for improved public transport systems. Infrastructure development remained a key policy priority. 31 tourism industry records strong summer growth. Domestic tourism activity increased sharply during the holiday season. Hotels and travel companies reported high booking rates. Hill stations and beaches witnessed heavy tourist crowds. Local businesses benefited from rising travel demand. Industry experts predicted continued tourism recovery in 2026. 32 EV charging infrastructure expands nationwide. New electric vehicle charging stations were approved across highways and cities. Government and private companies collaborated on infrastructure development. EV adoption continued increasing among urban consumers. Environmental experts supported the transition toward cleaner transportation. India's EV market showed steady long-term growth potential. 33 India pushes semiconductor manufacturing plans. The government accelerated semiconductor manufacturing initiatives. Talks with international chipmakers continued progressing positively. Officials emphasized reducing dependence on imported technology. Experts predicted major employment opportunities in the sector. The initiative supports India's digital economy ambitions. 34 Indian cinema continues global expansion. Indian movies and OTT content remained highly popular internationally. South Indian films performed strongly in overseas markets. Streaming platforms reported increasing global viewership figures. Film industry leaders discussed international collaboration opportunities. India's entertainment sector continued expanding worldwide influence. 35 Sports infrastructure development receives boost. New stadiums and athlete training centers were announced. Olympic preparation programs received additional funding support. Young athletes are expected to benefit from modern facilities. States were encouraged to improve local sports ecosystems. India aims to enhance future international sports performance. 36 AI adoption expands across sectors. Banks, Hospitals and educational institutions increased AI integration. Technology companies invested heavily in automation systems. Experts highlighted the importance of digital skill training. Government departments also adopted AI-based administrative tools. India continued positioning itself as a future AI hub. 37. Airport infrastructure expansion continues. Major airports expanded terminals and passenger facilities. Aviation authorities prepared for rising domestic travel demand. Cargo infrastructure development also accelerated nationwide. Private investment in airport modernization increased steadily. Experts predicted strong growth in India's aviation sector. 38. Farm subsidy programs benefit rural communities. Farmers received additional support for irrigation and agricultural equipment. Authorities promoted sustainable farming practices across states. Farmer organizations welcomed government assistance measures. Experts emphasized technology-driven agricultural modernization. Officials expected improved productivity during the upcoming season. 39. Digital banking usage continues rapid growth. Banks reported rising adoption of mobile banking services. Rural consumers increasingly shifted toward online transactions. Financial institutions expanded awareness programs on cyber safety. Experts predicted further growth in financial inclusion initiatives. India's fintech sector remained one of the fastest growing globally. 40. National highway projects progress rapidly. Expressway and highway construction advanced in multiple regions. Authorities highlighted benefits for logistics and transportation efficiency. Improved connectivity is expected to support economic growth. Large-scale infrastructure investment continued nationwide. Road development remained a major government focus area. 41. Climate experts warn about rising urban heat risks. Environmental researchers highlighted worsening heat wave conditions in cities. Several urban centers were identified as future climate risk zones. Experts called for improved urban planning and green infrastructure. Water management policies became a major discussion topic. Climate resilience planning gained in increasing importance nationally. 42. Skill-based education programs expand. Educational institutions launched more career-focused training courses. AI, coding, and data analytics remained highly demanded subjects. Students increasingly preferred practical skill development programs. Online certification platforms gained popularity nationwide. Experts praised the shift toward employment-oriented education. 43. Defense manufacturing sector receives new push. India promoted local manufacturing of defense equipment and technology. Domestic companies received support under self-reliance initiatives. Defense exports continued showing strong growth trends. Experts highlighted strategic and economic benefits of localization. The sector attracted increasing investment interest. 44. Indian athletes continue international success. Indian players performed strongly in global sporting competitions. Young athletes gained recognition for consistent performances abroad. Training programs ahead of major tournaments intensified further. Sports authorities expressed confidence in future medal opportunities. India's international sports reputation continued improving. 45. Smart city projects expand across states. Urban modernization projects progressed in multiple smart cities. Authorities focused on transport, sanitation, and digital governance systems. Citizens welcomed infrastructure improvement initiatives. Experts stressed the need for sustainable urban planning. Government investment in city development remained strong. 46. Retail inflation concerns continue. Economists closely monitored inflation trends after fuel price increases. Food and transportation sectors showed rising cost pressure. Consumers reported higher household expenditure challenges. The RBI remained focused on economic stability measures. Experts predicted cautious policy decisions ahead. 47. Renewable energy projects accelerate. Solar and wind power projects expanded rapidly in several states. Private investment in renewable energy remained strong. Authorities highlighted progress toward green energy targets. Experts praised India's clean energy transition efforts. Renewable energy continued becoming a national priority sector. 48. Public transport usage increases in metro cities. More commuters shifted toward metro and bus services. Fuel price increases encouraged use of public transportation. Authorities promoted affordable and sustainable travel options. Traffic congestion reduced slightly in some areas. Experts supported continued investment in mass transit systems. 49. India expands global trade engagements. Trade discussions continued with multiple international partners. Manufacturing and technology exports remained major priorities. Officials focused on strengthening global supply chain cooperation. Experts predicted increased international trade opportunities. India's economic influence continued expanding globally. 50. India strengthens role as emerging global power. India continued advancing in diplomacy, technology, defense, and infrastructure. Foreign investors maintained strong confidence in the Indian economy. International organizations praised India's long-term growth potential. Government reforms focused on innovation and development initiatives. Experts described India as one of the world's fastest rising nations.